Tezos is a blockchain that has never operated on the proof of work protocol. As a result, the proof of stake environment that Tezos is built is far more robust than the current state of Ethereum.
He's literally reading it from the script.
Is Tezos' applications, teams, and projects are traditionally centered around security
I'm gonna have fun with this. Let's go. BitBoy Crypto.
All right, today I want to begin with a bit of a story. How many of you watching this right now have heard of Icarus? For those that haven't, Icarus is an ancient story from Greek mythology about an inventor and his son trying to escape an evil king. Daedalus, the greatest inventor of his generation and Icarus's father, created wings made from feathers and wax. These wings were made to perfectly mimic the anatomy of birds and allowed both him and his son to fly. This is where the moral lesson of Icarus comes from, because as they flew, overwhelmed by a sense of arrogance and hubris,
don't
Icarus
fly
began
too
to fly
close to the sun.
and closer to the heavens. Ignoring his father's many warnings and believing himself to be invincible, somehow above the rest of the world, both physically and spiritually, he started to fly so high that the heat from the sun began melting the wax of his wings. Icarus would ultimately drown in the Black Sea after his wings had fully collapsed after melting in the sun, but the story serves as a warning to those who are consumed by their perceived status and power. The desire to fly higher is not always safe, and though the story is, of course, a fiction, the lessons it teaches are timeless. Today, I'd like to tell the story of BitBoy as he flies ever closer to the sun, carried on wings made of wax, just like Icarus, before falling to his metaphorical death, consumed by social media attention and peer gratification. Let's get started. Who is BitBoy? BitBoy, also known as Ben Armstrong, is a social media influencer with 1.45 million followers. His various different channels, including Twitter and YouTube, have been aggressively used for years to promote various different crypto schemes. But more recently, in the aftermath of FTX, Ben Armstrong, aka BitBoy, has turned his eye towards a series of other exploits. Consumed by a sense of self-importance, maybe, BitBoy has been seeking out extremely hostile interactions with celebrities. He has been spreading rumor after rumor with regards to a larger conspiracy behind the collapse of FTX, and he has been positioning himself as a savior of the industry who had knowledge of fraud long before the public ever knew. All of this, in a twisted, modern sort of way, reminds me of the mythology behind Icarus, because as he is propelled to ever-increasing new heights by his legion of social media fans, he is getting closer and closer to that final moment when the wings melt off and a lonely...
Literal legion, by the way. He's not getting that wrong. Like, the people who follow him, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with them. Like, I know there are people who are into conspiracy theories in the world, and that's fine. I even have a lot of close people. I personally was very deep into conspiracy theories in the past. But, bro, they must be into some deep shit, because how can you follow somebody so blindly without doing any kind of research about him? Like, the second I heard this guy talk, I knew that he was scum. Literal scum, and if he's not been exposed yet, I hope he is.
Comes hurtling back to the surface of the earth, supported by nothing but empty air. Without further ado, let's take a look at the deceptive, arrogant, and misleading life of BitBoy.
Yeah,
this one is going to $1 billion. I see an easy 100x in a matter of months for this one. If you don't get in before this rebrand announcement, you will be kicking yourself forever, or at least until you die.
Ben Armstrong is currently obsessed with taking down the prior CEO of FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried. His singular mission seems to be massive engagement on social media as he aggressively speculates on and even tries to physically hunt down SBF in the Bahamas. While doing this, he has resorted to tactics that one might consider to be stalking or harassment or any number of unsavory terms. But ignoring the emotional aspect of all this, let's examine who he was before this now viral attempt at becoming the people's champion. Before this tidal wave of shallow credibility, BitBoy Crypto, aka Ben Armstrong, was a scammer for hire.
So low.
Posing as a potential partner, internet sleuth Zach XBT, whose work was invaluable while constructing this video, I'll link to his social media down below in the description, obtained documents that showcase precisely how the process works. Ben Armstrong, during the peak of his scamming career, would offer a series of options to potential projects, who then paid the money and received promotions. Confronted by CoffeeZilla, BitBoy claimed that he personally vetted potential partners, denying, quote, 99% of them, while accepting just 1% of partners for actual publication. In the same tweet, he simultaneously says, "I personally rigorously vet all paid promotions, as well as we don't promote anything." Obviously, those two phrases are mutually exclusive. Even an idiot can see that. He absolutely did do various different promotions.
He did.
Let's start with a central
Tons
example from which we can build a strong foundation. This is PAMP. PAMP is a scam. Initially pumped in price to over $2, it has since gone to $0, with less than maybe a couple dollars in daily. Effectively, everyone who got suckered into this token after a certain point lost everything. And one of the people pushing this token was BitBoy. Now, the video itself is currently unlisted. I'll link it.
Kind of looks like every coin after the 2017 bull run. Holy shit, that thing hit the floor.
No problem there, but it showcases a clear, self-disclosed paid promotion of the PAMP token, in which Ben Armstrong has a bit of a Freudian slip, calling it the pump token.
What if I told you there's a project guaranteed to increase in price? You don't want to miss pump. I mean PAMP. I'm pumped up to talk about this one.
Still, jokes aside, he elaborates that he does fair reviews with his team and that they won't promote something unless they dig deep into it, which is exactly what they allegedly did with PAMP.
But you definitely don't want to miss this one. I do fair reviews with my team, and I won't promote something that we don't dig
You
deep into.
scummy person. Holy shit.
One small problem. PAMP was, by every single conceivable definition out there, a pump.
Like, bro, I don't get these people. I do not get them. Holy shit. Why you do this? Why do you do this? You have a name. You have a face. Those things are irreplaceable. Well, you can put a mask on technically and get a fake passport, but then you're living on the run. You've only got one face and one name. Like, why tarnish that? Why throw it all down the drain? I get it. It's for money. It's for fame and all of that good stuff. Personally, yes, I want all of those things. But if you fuck up and you scam people and it comes out, you're always going to be known as that person, as that scammer, as that person who did that. And that's never going to go away. Ever. So, I don't get it. Why don't you just do something a little less, or not scammy in general? Like, just, so many people created NFTs and became millionaires, billionaires from it. So many people created cryptocurrencies and, again, became very rich from it and famous and all of that. But they weren't scams. They just created them. They had no utility, no use case, complete garbage, but people pumped them and people bought them and sold them. Why? Because they thought that they could sell them to some other idiot for a higher price. That's how it works. And for some it worked in the beginning and then in the middle, but towards the end, yeah, people started losing money. But this guy legitimately knew he was scamming people and he was fucking people over, and he continues to do it. Like, the second I saw him, the second I saw his face, and this was when I was thinking about creating my YouTube channel, because I was doing research about my potential competitors, and I saw his face, and then I'm a bit picky with that. Like, some people have a specific type of face I don't like, and I'll get a bad image of them already. Like, don't judge a book by its cover. Yeah, I judge books by their covers, okay? And then I said, anyway, I'll do a bit of research. I'll watch a couple of his videos. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe his face is just that way and it is what it is. Fair enough. Okay. But after I watched his video, I just became so much more sour about him. It's just, how do people like that exist? I don't know. I don't know how just no good.
Pump and dump scheme, where influencers like Ben Armstrong simply served to generate exit liquidity. That term, for those unfamiliar, is very common in...
It's when you basically hold a bag of, let's say, some type of cryptocurrency or any kind of currency or commodity or stock, and just hold an asset basically, and you want to get rid of it, but there's not enough liquidity in the market, meaning there's not enough people to buy what you're trying to sell. So then he creates this fake narrative or fake news, or pumps up some kind of news, makes it bigger than what it already is, and makes his followers buy into it. Well, guess what? He's the one who's selling it to them because he wants to get out.
In the world of crypto, and refers to the practice where new investors need to be lured in so that prior investors, with big air quotes on that, can dump tokens on them and get out of the scam. This is exceptionally common in the industry and happens at scale every single day. For PAMP insiders, BitBoy Crypto was one of their chosen mechanisms to produce this liquidity, aka fresh suckers, and dump everything that they hold on unsuspecting retail investors. So why does it matter? It matters because BitBoy is now some sort of quasi-celebrity detective in the crypto world, and yet his past is just about as shady as humanly possible. To demonstrate this and create a sort of callback for later, we need to talk about another YouTuber named Atazi. Atazi created a video in November of 2021 called "This YouTuber Scams His Fans, BitBoy Crypto," in which he mercilessly criticized BitBoy's track record, particularly the PAMP scam promotion, while also highlighting some other issues. It's an excellent video, by the way, and I'll link that down below as well. Here's the thing. Ben Armstrong, BitBoy Crypto, was anything but pleased about this, deciding that his best course of action was to sue Atazi on the basis of defamation for causing damage to his business and severe anxiety. He initially filed the lawsuit on August 12th, 2022, but after less than 2 weeks, on August 24th, 2022, he announced on a live stream that he was dropping the lawsuit. Interestingly, he said this about why it was filed in the first place on that very same live stream.
But yeah, so we are going to drop the lawsuit 100%. And I'm sorry this became public. I'm sorry that this has been,
wow, he must be burning up inside.
Why. It's not frivolous. When someone implies that you can be in trouble from the SEC, that is not frivolous, guys. That's a very, very, very serious matter. That is not frivolous, guys. That's a very, very, very serious matter.
It's important to understand the context on this. BitBoy, Ben Armstrong,
basically you don't want people looking into
his audience. Atazi, another YouTuber, covered that scam, calling it out for what it was, and BitBoy decided to sue him. After the suit was filed, additional creators began to cover the issue. A spectacular real-time example of the Streisand effect took place, and larger crypto investors even jumped in at the chance to donate money towards Atazi's legal fees, which spurred, in less than 2 weeks, a complete reversal by BitBoy, who ran away with his tail between his legs. Suffice it to say, a scammer is often a coward, and BitBoy Crypto exhibited these characteristics extremely well. However, let's go deeper. It turns out BitBoy Crypto has promoted numerous different scam tokens, and now, in the face of renewed scrutiny as a result of his escalating hubris, he has begun deleting those videos and hiding them from the public. Let's take a look at Log, also known as Meridian Network. This token went from 6/100ths of a penny, very small initially, to 6 millionths of a penny, in what can only be described as one of the most obvious...
It's like a cat takes a shit and then it hides it, because it don't want nobody to find it,
scam projects in human history.
Guess why?
The website is now dead, the Twitter has been completely purged, and BitBoy has deleted his videos, both of them, that heavily promoted the project to all of his fans. Recovered by ZachXBT, we can also look at Zao Finance, a token that exit scammed, meaning a singular moment in time where the funds were stolen and removed by the criminals behind the project, where BitBoy directly promoted the coin on Twitter, only to delete that promotion once the scam had been fulfilled. How about another one? DISTX. This one was heavily promoted by BitBoy, even so far as to have an officially announced partnership between them. Flash forward, and the official Twitter account has been deleted, while the token lost nearly 100% of value because it was yet another blatantly obvious pump and dump scam. Yet again, Ethereum Yield, ETHY, where BitBoy Crypto did an entire dedicated video on the project, and the price is now down almost 95%, wiping out all his fans, and he has since, of course, deleted the video. The list goes on and on and on. BitBoy Crypto has promoted an entire portfolio of rug pulls, scam projects, and deceptive tokens, after which he will take down
Bro, I am telling you, we do not want regulation in this sphere because it will affect... Well, regulators don't know how to regulate things like Bitcoin, okay? Ethereum couldn't care less. They will be able to regulate that, but we also do want regulation because of things like this. Like, bro, these are like, well, how can I describe it? Like at school, you know, like little kids, they fuck each other over because they can, and they're kids. That's what kids do. And these are junior school scams. Like, I don't know how people fall into these things. I just don't get it. Just the idea of making easy, fast money, big money. Like, doesn't that sound too good to be true? Doesn't this thought pass through their heads that it just might be a scam? Like, bro.
Private or full-scale.
You can't feel sorry for them.
The damage
they literally just burnt their money.
Close to being done with him. In the aftermath of FTX collapsing, BitBoy has championed himself as one of the most hardcore advocates against Sam Bankman-Fried, possibly on planet Earth. For fuck's sake, he's...
I wonder why. Maybe, possibly, he could have had money in FTX. Maybe he saw a potential power grab, and that people will see him as this good guy, and all his bad reputation will be forgotten about, because it will be. Like, nobody wants to believe that, but it sure will be. That's how things work. People are going to completely forget about all the dirty, scammy, shitty things he's done in the past, because now he's this good guy. People want to give him a chance. They want to give people second chances. No, don't be stupid.
Even in the Bahamas right now, or was a day ago, harassing Sam at the Albany, demanding justice for all the people that were scammed. But let's dig into that. Less than 1 week before FTX imploded, BitBoy came out with a sort of apology video of sorts, saying that there is a problem with token promotions in the crypto space, and saying it needs to be eradicated completely. He admits to having done these promotions in the past, but more importantly, he makes a list of what is and is not okay to promote. One of his what works items is exchange sponsorships, and that's where we need to start looking. Turns out that BitBoy has directly promoted FTT, the token of FTX, now recognized as one of, if not the biggest frauds in all of crypto history. BitBoy said that everything SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried, touches turns to gold, continuing on to claim that FTT was one of the only tokens that could go up during a bear market. All we have is this condensed clip right now. I was unable to find the original for this one. I suspect because evidence is being systematically deleted. The track record here is abysmal, but it gets worse. Celsius Network, a lending platform that declared Chapter 11 bankruptcy early on, while myself and numerous other creators constantly warned about its unsustainable business model, was one of BitBoy's most frequent promotions on the channel. Here he is, calling it the hottest DeFi project of 2020, when Celsius is the very antithesis of decentralized finance, in fact, and this video contains over 45 minutes of BitBoy platforming and promoting Alex Mashinsky. But when Celsius inevitably declared bankruptcy, BitBoy would begin to say things like, you can't...
I remember when DeFi just started becoming a thing. Bro. I didn't get into it. I knew what was going on. You guys might... you have to understand that when somebody is giving you the opportunity to lend them money, and then they're going to borrow it to somebody else for interest, and then they're going to give you that interest, obviously minus what they want as well. You have to understand that the lender is going to use that money to trade, or he's going to use that money to make more money. Otherwise, the idea of lending is not good. It's not profitable. It doesn't work. You don't lend money in a business sense, in a professional sense, unless you're going to use that money to make more money. That is the only time you should ever borrow money. I know we are told in society, and they make it, banks especially, and governments, and tell us to get loans and debt for a house or for a car or for anything. Basically, you want to travel, get a loan. You want to buy something that you can't afford, get a loan. Debt all the time. It's easy, it's quick, it's fast, no checkups, no this, no that. You have to understand that in the business sense, like rich people in the world, like the really rich people, they understand the logic of what debt is, and there's nothing wrong with debt. Debt is awesome. Like, you use debt to make more money and then you pay it off back and you take that profit. That's how debt should work. Now, obviously, you should be good at making money, making more money with money before you take on debt. But in general, yeah, so these whole DeFi projects and all of that, I never invested in them. I never put money in them. I never even traded them. And I trade literally anything. As long as it moves, it goes up and down, I'll trade it. I had an interest in it, and I even watched the first interviews with this Celsius network and this guy. And to be honest, it sounded like, meh, sounds good. Like if you've got 100K, you've got 1 million, you've got 10 million, 100 million, and you want to throw like some to the side and see if something works, cool. Then you can risk that, but not if you just like you got a little bit of money. And no, it wasn't that interesting to me.
Possibly ever support Celsius Network or CEO Alex Mashinsky in any way. Basically, the perfect 180. This man is a fraud of the highest order, and I fully recognize that he is most likely too stupid to adequately respond here, and might...
But to be fair, like, BitBoy Crypto's not the only one who did this shit. Like, there's tons of them. Like, fucking... I don't want to start name calling, but there's a lot of crypto influencers who were supporting and promoting all these scam coins, crypto coins, back in when I began, especially because the main thing, like, remember what happened with NFTs and how much hype there was around them. Well, before NFTs, there was cryptocurrencies, and there was tokens, and then before tokens, there was crypto coins. Okay, they're all like, you might get them mixed up, but they are different things. And then in the future, there's going to be something else. What it is, I don't fucking know. Maybe it's metaverse, maybe it's some other bullshit or whatever. But in the essence is, I was watching news and doing fundamental analysis, which was reading the white papers of projects and researching about them, what the team's like, what that's like. When I was starting off, when I actually had some kind of hope in this environment, in this sphere, that this could potentially go somewhere, it was very interesting for me. And I love doing that. I love to do that kind of research, and in the future I will take that and apply it to traditional markets. So I'll do my research about traditional businesses. But the point is that there was a lot of them. That doesn't excuse him. Like, he's up there. He's one of the worst. He might even be the worst. In my opinion, I despise the guy. But that's just me. But yeah, there's a lot of them. A lot of them that promoted these scams.
Might file a lawsuit, as he did with Atazi, but let's discuss that angle as well. Remember, Atazi highlighted instances where Ben Armstrong, BitBitch Crypto, exposed his audience to paid advertising on scam projects for his own benefit, and the response was to sue him for defamation, but the truth is not defamatory. Anyway, however, more recently, BitBoy has been relentlessly attacking Kevin O'Leary, a host of Shark Tank, the famous show, for his involvement with FTX and his defense of Sam
might be reaching.
Whether or not you believe that Kevin O'Leary was involved, whether or not you believe that Sam Bankman-Fried should be stalked, harassed, imprisoned, what have you.
Kevin O'Leary. Bro, I love the Shark Tank. I love that series. I even watched like Dragon's Den, and I even watched like Shark Tank Australia. I love that show. I love that stuff. And it was before I even got into crypto. I love that stuff, honestly. And Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful, he's the best. I liked him the most in the show. He's really cool. I don't know about the guy now. I don't know how involved he is. I don't know what's going on, but I couldn't care less, to be honest.
BitBoy decided that
he was really cool
Kevin
in the show.
Was so important, he would stoop, Well,
I like that
it's down to
heartless
this.
mentality.
It turns out that Kevin O'Leary's wife, as per the police report and court documents, was found not guilty after a boat crash resulted in the deaths of 2 people. Whether or not Kevin was really the one driving the boat, as BitBoy alleges numerous times, whether or not the other boat was actually driving with no lights on, which is illegal and makes it harder to see, whether or not the entire thing is some elaborate conspiracy or not, Mrs. O'Leary, not Kevin himself, was charged with a crime and found not guilty by a court of law. What does BitBoy do? Takes to social media saying, quote, "The fact is Kevin O'Leary is a murderer," end quote. Now, unlike the frivolous bullshit lawsuit levied by BitBoy against Atazi, that right there actually...
that is a big accusation to make. That's huge, bro. Can you actually do that? Like, in the future, if Kevin O'Leary proves that he's not guilty, let's just say he's not, and he proves he's not guilty, he could literally sue this BitBoy, couldn't he, for defamation. Wow, is a murderer, bro. Twitter, holy shit, brutal.
In a long, drawn-out, and mostly one-sided feud with a business mogul, BitBoy is now making factual claims that the person is a murderer.
That is not frivolous, guys. That's a very, very serious matter.
When court documents, evidence, and judge ruling have clearly outlined, for the purpose of legality here, that Kevin O'Leary was not driving the boat, his wife was innocent of manslaughter, of what she was accused, and that the case should be dismissed. That right there is Icarus flying way too close to the goddamn sun.
Yep.
Here's a bonus. As if pushing Celsius Network wasn't enough, only to turn on it after Chapter 11 bankruptcy was declared, thus investors had all of their funds frozen, or defaming a business mogul with murder, like literally murder accusations,
yeah, that's what
promoting
I'm saying.
scam token after scam token after scam token, and even pushing FTT as he rebrands himself as a crypto savior, BitBoy also decided it would be a good idea to plagiarize content for his YouTube channel. Exposed by a journalist named Vince, no idea how to pronounce that last name, on Twitter, BitBoy had taken his prediction article, word for word, not inspired by or quoted, stolen with precision, and voiced it inside his own video about a project called Tezos.
Tezos is a blockchain that has never operated on the proof-of-work protocol. As a result, the proof-of-stake environment that Tezos is built is far more robust than the current state of creating new Ethereum via
Wait. As a result, the proof-of-stake environment that Tezos has built is far more robust than the current state of creating new Ethereum via proof-of-work. Sorry guys.
To plagiarize content for his YouTube channel. Exposed by a journalist named Vince, no idea how to pronounce that last name, on Twitter, BitBoy had taken his prediction article, word for word here, not inspired by or quoted, stolen with precision, and voiced it inside his own video about a project called Tezos.
Tezos is a blockchain that has never operated on the proof-of-work protocol. As a result, the proof-of-stake environment that Tezos is built is far more robust than the current state of creating Ethereum.
He's literally reading it from the script.
Tezos' applications, teams, and projects are traditionally centered around security.
Cringe, motherfucker. This.
Alright, so I'm not gonna go anymore here. But I needed to make this video. Needed to call this guy out. This guy just blatantly plagiarizes people. I don't know who else he's done it to, but I know as someone who just wrote their first piece of content on this subject, that this guy just blatantly plagiarizes people. So I hope this message gets out there and people can make their own opinions about it. Thank you.
In the grand scheme of things, by itself, people might not think it's
legend, bro.
Crypto,
He's so clean with
unhinged.
that.
Think about this in context. A YouTuber who previously took tens of thousands of dollars per project to promote tokens starts wholesale deleting the videos, promotions, tweets, and articles that pertain to the scams after the scam has absconded with the cash. That same influencer fires off baseless lawsuits when called out for such behavior under the guise of defamation, while going on to state as a fact that business mogul Kevin O'Leary is a murderer because of a settled court case where his wife was found not guilty. In addition, he plagiarizes content, offers stone-cold guarantees of financial return, despite the fact he is not a registered financial advisor. And yet the tokens that he claims are 100% moonshot, get-rich-quick options perform like this. His entire video library is a gold mine of incriminating behavior. Dozens of the worst projects in the entire space were relentlessly promoted by him for personal gain, resulting in untold damage to investors. Now he is traipsing across the world to get kicked out of hotels as he tries to hunt down another crypto scammer, takes one to know one, and cement his place as some sort of credible, altruistic crypto Batman. BitBoy,
legend upper echelon.
He is a disease in the community that somehow tricked enough people into watching him or believing him that he can ride a wave of outrage across the world and maybe, if he plays his cards right, sanitize his reputation in the process. Whether or not he is allowed to do so remains to be seen, but Icarus, in my opinion, has flown far too close to the sun here, and his wings are currently melting. If you want support, check out the links down below. If he sues me, I already have an entire game plan mapped out. But I'll keep you posted. Have a nice night.
Copy link address. I'll post it. Good shot.